About 2,000 years after humans domesticated crops and animals, a group of pioneering farmers sparked a new agricultural breakthrough: pastoralism. Rather than settling permanently, they guided their herds to seasonal grazing areas, based on natural conditions. This mobile lifestyle allowed them to build trade relationships with communities along their routes. As a result, they not only ensured a steady food supply but also gained wealth, social status, and political independence for centuries. Today, pastoralism remains a way of life for hundreds of millions across the globe, from the Himalayas to the Andes to the Alps. They raise animals like sheep, goats, cattle, and yaks while living in harmony with nature. For example, the Sami in the Arctic herd reindeer across snowy ranges, while the Van Gujars of India raise water buffalo in the forests. These communities produce food and animal products sustainably, helping protect ecosystems. However, in the past century, they've faced mounting challenges due to modernization policies. Governments in many regions have restricted access to essential public services such as healthcare and education, created fixed watering points to force settlement, and privatized grazing lands or turned them into nature reserves. Even if well-intentioned, these efforts have had severe consequences. Pastoralists have lost their ability to move, the core of their lifestyle, leading to economic decline, reduced sustainability, and greater vulnerability to climate change. In sub-Saharan Africa, pastoralism plays an especially critical role, supplying most of the continent's meat and milk. Yet since the late 20th century, many programs have tried to push pastoralists to settle by limiting their mobility. Governments reduced access to vital services like healthcare and education, established fixed watering points to keep people in one area year-round, and converted large areas of traditional rangeland into private property or wildlife reserves, stripping pastoralists of land rights. The motives behind these policies vary. Some were well-meaning attempts to modernize pastoral agriculture, others were efforts to control populations seen as difficult to manage. Regardless of intent, the outcomes are the same: pastoralists lose flexible land use, the foundation of their sustainable livelihoods. As a result, they've become poorer, less resilient to climate change, and less autonomous in both economic and social terms. Historically, sub-Saharan pastoralists played a key role in maintaining the health of African grasslands. Their seasonal migrations allowed them to regulate livestock density in specific areas, preventing land degradation. Animal manure also enriched the soil, helping regenerate fertility. However, modern policies restricting their movement have made sustainable land management far more difficult. Pastoralists are also exceptionally skilled at adapting to harsh climates, especially drought. A growing concern in today's warming world. They can track rainfall and read landscapes to determine which areas remain viable for grazing. But when confined to dry, barren land, they lose this critical advantage. Livestock weaken, raising the risk of disease outbreaks that can harm both animals and humans. Even without disease, weakened herds lead to low productivity, limiting pastoralists' ability to earn income, a serious issue for already vulnerable communities. In addition to climate and land challenges, pastoralists in sub-Saharan Africa face major hurdles from the economic system. They primarily sell goods through informal markets with little regulation or oversight. These markets operate on an international scale, forcing pastoralist communities to compete directly with one another, driving prices down and making incomes volatile and unstable. Moreover, herders often rely on intermediaries to access markets. These middlemen typically charge high fees, cutting deeply into the pastoralists' profits. This makes it difficult for them to save money or invest in the future. Whether in Africa or elsewhere, pastoralists around the world face variations of these same problems. Yet amid these challenges, innovative solutions are emerging. Pastoralist communities, NGOs, and local governments are working together to improve living conditions and develop fairer support systems. To address these challenges, several initiatives have been launched in sub-Saharan Africa. Grassroots movements, along with government and non-profit organizations, are striving to restore traditional grazing lands and improve public services, such as mobile health clinics and schools adapted to migratory life. Some groups are building new market systems that establish standards for meat quality and pricing, reducing dependence on middlemen. Many initiatives also aim to ensure the rights of female herders, who make up 50% of the pastoral workforce in the region. Other programs focus on livestock health, providing vaccinations, expanding veterinary services, and implementing tagging systems to monitor disease outbreaks. All of these efforts aim to create a more sustainable and equitable future for pastoralist communities. One of the most crucial changes needed to safeguard pastoralism is for governments to acknowledge and value mobility, the cornerstone of pastoral life. For thousands of years, pastoralism has not only been a survival strategy but a key system for sustaining ecosystems and economies across many regions. Seasonal movement allows pastoralists to manage natural resources flexibly, avoid overuse, and support land regeneration. They also possess deep knowledge of climate, soil, and animals, insights that are increasingly vital in a world facing complex climate challenges. When modern policies seek to alter or eliminate this model, the result is environmental degradation, weakened communities, and the erosion of traditional knowledge. Recognizing the value of pastoralism doesn't mean rejecting progress, it means combining indigenous wisdom with modern technology to build a more balanced future. Preserving pastoral ways of life also means protecting some of the most vulnerable populations from climate, economic, and social crises. As the world searches for sustainable development solutions, listening to and learning from pastoralists may be essential to Earth's future. In a time when the planet is facing severe impacts from climate change and ecological crises, recognizing the value of pastoralism is more critical than ever. Pastoralism is not only a method of food production, but a sustainable system of natural resource management that has endured for millennia. The mobility of herders protects grasslands, regenerates soil, and maintains ecological balance. They hold extensive knowledge of the environment, weather patterns, and livestock, increasingly vital skills in an unstable climate era. To move toward a sustainable future, the world must learn from this model. Supporting and empowering mobile pastoralists is not only a way to preserve ancient cultures, but also a key to building planetary resilience and adaptation in the face of global challenges.